Hi everyone, and welcome back to Queen G's Recipes, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a chocolate flan. Now first of all, I wanted to talk to you about the caramelized chocolate sauce, which is similar to the caramelized sugar that you usually use in flans and puddings and cakes and stuff like that, except it's a chocolate version. So I will be leaving the link below for this recipe, so you will see that and you can make that. And you're also going to be needing a bundt pan. I'm using a 10-cup bundt pan. You don't want to use anything larger than that, or else you're at risk of your flan breaking once you flip it. So you want to make sure you use a reasonable size for this recipe. Here I also have 4 whole eggs. We're going to need 2 cans of sweetened condensed milk, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, half a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, and 3 cups of just plain milk. So we're going to be making this in our blender, and you also want to make sure that you have your oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's move on to the next step. Okay, so before we place our ingredients into our blender, we're first of all going to add in our chocolate caramel sauce here. Okay, now I've made this probably about 3-4 days ago. It's been in my fridge covered with some plastic wrap, so it's at the perfect consistency. It's nice and thick, and that's how you want it. So if you're going to make a flan like this, it's a good idea to make it the day before or the morning of. Okay, so now we'll set this aside and we'll start placing our ingredients into our blender. Okay, so it's as simple as that. We're going to add in all of our ingredients, and then we're going to mix for we're going to blend for about 2 minutes. Okay, so now we're going to place our lid on top of our blender, and we're going to blend this for 2 minutes. Okay, so in between blending our chocolate flan mixture, I went in with a spatula. I stopped my machine, went in with a spatula, scraped around the edges so we got all the condensed milk and all the chocolate cocoa powder well mixed in. So that's done. And now we're ready to pour our mixture over our chocolate caramelized sauce. Okay, so once your pan has your caramel sauce and your filling, you are ready to place it in a bigger pan, something a bit larger than your actual cake pan. So you can place some water in here because it does require making a bain-marie for this recipe. So what I usually like to do is before adding the water, I just place my pan in there, and then you are going to place some aluminum foil and cover your flan. Make sure you put the shiny part down here and cover it so it's all covered. And now I'm going to place probably from about 1/4 to about half of the pan with some warm water, and we're going to place it in our preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about an hour or so. Now once you have inserted a toothpick and it comes out clean, you know your flan is fully cooked. So into the water that I'm going to place for the bain marie, I'm also going to place 2 tablespoons of vinegar, because therefore it won't stain my bundt cake pan or this pan. So that's just a little tip if you want to try it. Okay, so my flan baked in the oven in a bain marie covered with the aluminum foil for an hour and a half. And now it does depend from oven to oven, but between an hour and 10 to about an hour and a half, that's usually how long it takes. So now what I did was I took it out of the very hot water, and be very, very cautious when doing that. And then I removed the aluminum foil, and as you can see, it's nice and firm. So we are ready to go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this at room temperature for 1 hour. And then after the 1 hour is up, I'm going to place it in my fridge for a minimum of 4 hours. And then I'll meet you back here so we can cut it, invert it, cut it, and try it. Okay everyone, so my flan, as I said, I left it at room temperature as soon as it came out of the oven. I left it on my countertop for about an hour. After that, I placed it in my fridge and I left it overnight. So I think, to be on the safe side, it is best to leave this refrigerated for about 5 to 6 hours, just to be safe. Now, overnight, as you can see, it is completely firm and loose from the pan. But before I placed it into the fridge last night, I took a butter knife and very gently went around the edges just to make sure everything was loosened. And gently in the middle area, I used a toothpick just to kind of loosen everything. And as you can see, that the chocolate caramel juices and sauces all came up, so everything is loose from the pan. So we are ready to invert our cake onto a platter, or I should say our chocolate flan onto a platter. Okay, so now I'm going to invert it onto a platter here. Okay, so I used a smaller platter where I should have used my larger one, but it all worked out. So a bit of the juice, a bit of the chocolate sauce, I should say, came out. But I did remove some excessive chocolate sauce that was in the middle, and I just placed it in a bowl, and I can just use it when I cut the slices to pour on top and on my plates. So that's perfectly fine. Now, if you do want to cut the chocolate caramel sauce recipe in half and you don't want this much sauce, that is perfectly fine too. It's totally up to you. But I always use this amount in my flans. I'm comfortable with it, but I thought it would be fine to have on this smaller platter, but it's not a problem at all. So I want to show you guys how beautiful this chocolate flan is. As you can see, it's perfectly firm. It is the perfect amount of chocolate in this recipe, and it's just amazing. There is no pieces of flan came off. It came off perfect, and it's just wonderful, and it's a great recipe, and your family and friends will love it, I guarantee you. Okay, so now we're ready. Oh my goodness, look at this perfection. Okay, so now I'm just going to take some of my chocolate sauce here and place it on top of my flan. Oh my goodness, just look how amazing this is. Wow. Okay, so now we actually have to try this. I can't even explain how good and amazing this chocolate flan is. It is just perfection in every single way, from the flan to the sauce. It is just perfection, and I do definitely highly recommend you try this recipe, especially for all those chocolate lovers out there. And if you aren't a chocolate lover, I think from now on you will be after you try this recipe. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like the video, give us a nice big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you will be notified every time I upload a new and delicious recipe. As well, share the recipe with your family and friends. Enjoy it, and I'll see you next time. I'm going to continue on eating my flan, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye, everyone.